All right, thank you for staying with us. We're looking at the top stories now on the front pages of the newspapers. And I begin with the Nation newspaper. The major story here says, strike. Labour adamant shuns Pali called by government. And some riders here, we are not in violation of any court order. NLC insists Tinubu Sultan strike will cause severe hardship for masses. That's what the government is saying. And another story here, confusion shrouds health condition of tourism minister. APC intervenes in Ondo deputy governor's impeachment saga. Court grants Ayedatiwa leave to serve assembly. Demolitions, court orders Kano government to pay shop owners 30 billion naira. And here, gunmen abduct 31 villagers in Niger attack. And on the top corner here, Atiku on fishing expedition, Tinubu tells US court, insists on reversal of order, asking Chicago Varsity to release academic records of ex-VP. And then Lagos government bans street trading, hawking statewide, or disclosure of Ladipo Mushi market. Who has what story here?
Yes, so I think I'll take the Ladipo. So Lagos State government on Friday announced a total ban on street trading, hawking, and building of illegal structures on the drainage setbacks, and also display of wares on walkways across the state. I think there was an incident that happened in Magodo.
Yeah.
That was also a part of it. So the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, was the one who made the disclosure in Lagos. And Wahab said the State Environmental Sanitation Corps has been directed to strictly enforce compliance with the environmental sanitation laws. The commissioner explained that the latest offensive was meant to curb the activities of hawkers who disguise themselves to rob motorists and also disrupt the free flow of traffic on highways. In a related development as well, they have ordered the Ladipo market to be shut down for environmental offenses, including reckless waste disposal, unhygienic premises, and non-payment of waste bills, among others. So the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, was the one who gave the order, and he said the market will remain closed until the mandatory conditions of redress are met by the traders and market stakeholders. And is also a part of making sure that they instill compliance across board. So if you're going to be in the market, you need to make sure that you tidy your
environment.
premises, yes, to avoid health hazards. So
That's why they have market leaders.
Yes.
And I wonder why they are not enforcing
exactly.
that.
What do they
That's
do?
the essence.
To collect money.
Beyond the collection of
you pay
money,
tax
now that the place is shut, who will you collect money from?
Absolutely.
So the essence is for you to enforce that.
Compliance.
You should know that there are laws and that government will come hard on you if you are not keeping them. This is not the first market that is being shut, and it's not even the first time.
Yes.
It's not
And
the
even
first time.
Olowu market too.
Yeah.
So during the week, so I have a CSR activity with mechanics in Olowu market. They call me Mama, and so this guy calls me early in the morning, Mama, Mama, Mama.
Mama, I'm in trouble.
You're trouble.
They don't chase us come out, oh, we don't get anything where we go chop. This one, and he was really, really bothered about it. And I see that it's not just Olowu market now;
It's
it's
across,
across board. And it's just really, it's sad
It's a sad
because I
one.
see them here.
Wow.
Who has any other story here? Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
You're trouble.
She knows why I
Do
said
you have a story?
Yes, I do.
ahead.
Veronica.
All right, so
So
has
I
any
have
story?
terrorists attack Niger community, abduct 31 villagers. And so this happened on Thursday evening around 7 p.m. And they were from 2 local governments or 2 communities in the state. So they include the Shon, Kabula, and Zagaza communities in Munya local government area in Niger State. And this happened in the evening. And really, we found out that about maybe 2 weeks ago, we saw this same story, such that terrorists also attacked somewhere in Niger State. And they used the worship center as their temporary base for their hideouts. And so this is happening again. And the senator representing Niger State Senatorial District, Alhaji Mohammed Sani Musa, has called out for help, saying, please help us, because out of the 9 local governments in his senatorial zone, 5 of them are currently under siege. And is calling on Nigeria as a whole to come to his aid, stating that this state, Niger State, is known for producing the food that we eat. And so if we don't, we would see that it would affect the nation very soon. So please, food
security.
yes, food security.
And we recall
needs
that
to-
even Niger State was where those soldiers were attacked, that were killed, that we had a state burial for them in Abuja some time ago. Niger State is becoming, you know, is
hotbed.
a hotbed for these things. Not central, though. We are seeing some level of attacks, and we know how critical North Central is to the production of food.
Food in
If you
Nigeria.
look at Benue State as well, they
Food
been
basket.
under attack and all of that. So we believe that the government...
Is this deliberate?
That's a
Destabilize
valid question.
Nigeria.
Because
Deliberate.
food
So
is
you
very
attack,
key.
Exactly, you attack the food and then...
No, but the
else
issue is,
right.
what is your agitation about? What's your grouse with government? Yes, we know that Boko Haram has an issue with education, Western education and all of that. But these other persons that are agitated, are they the same persons? Now, we need to isolate these individuals. There are bandits, activities, they are kidnappers. and so-
terrorists.
yes. So how do you isolate them? What is the issues?
And
Yes,
what do
we
they
know
want
that they are
exactly?
challenging the government.
But they are not presenting the issues, and they are not attacking the
Yeah,
government. They are attacking the
exactly.
people.
For, to
They are
get
people.
government's attention.
I don't think they have any agitation.
I don't
they
think
just
so.
want to break down law
Yes.
and order. They just
Yes.
want to
To what
cause
gain?
anarchy.
Now, that is you.
They may be
Acting in a
Because they don't have
certain way.
anything to
They
lose.
may have sponsors from other places.
Well,
Of
Who want
course,
to
there are
keep
those-
Nigeria under.
There are those who are benefiting from all of these activities. We know that. But anyway, let's take your
The headline says, confusion shows health condition of Tourism Minister Adejon. So there have been reports that the minister was hospitalized at the Federal Medical Center, Jabi, after experiencing acute poisoning. And the reports also said that she was rushed shortly after she started manifesting symptoms of poisoning, adding that she had spent 4 days at the facility. But there's a source at the ministry that is dispelling this rumor and said that the minister just had malaria. And we shouldn't forget that she has been away for so long, and she's just settling into Nigeria after her appointment. So she's still trying to acclimatize to our weather here, and she's basically treating malaria, and she has not been poisoned in any way.
Well, whatever the case is, let her get well.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line for me.
Absolutely.
Even though we know how oftentimes public officials do not like to tell us the
Declare
truth
their
Exactly
health
what's-
issues.
of
Yeah.
their health status is, but really, whatever it is,
Get
let
well.
her get well. That's the bottom line. I would have loved to take this story in Kano, where about 1,800 persons, prospective persons, are being screened for marriage. They are being screened for, you know, Kano State is known to have mass burial.
Oh,
I said, mass marriage, weddings. No, it's not burial.
beg
no,
you.
It's weddings, I beg.
They will call.
It's mass wedding.
So they are
oh,
screened now.
yeah, so they are screening them
Preparation.
for HIV, every other kind of test that is
They're
necessary
checking
to
genotype
check.
as well.
I believe so, to ensure that they are healthy to get into marriage as it is at the end of the day. But oftentimes people have been talking about this mass marriage. Why?
It's
Why?
cheaper.
Anyway,
don't mind.
let's move on.
Save the money we spent. Wow.
Anyway, to Punch newspaper now. The major story here, last-minute move to avert strike fails. Labour shuns federal government meeting. And some riders here, Labour leaders keep Gbajabiamila long waiting for hours. Aviation union, bank workers, others ready for shutdown. Another story here, poor students, parents seek tuition fees reduction as Independence Day gift. And beyond the mic, inside Mohbad's childhood, family struggles. Fails, Lagos shuts Ladipo Market, 3 others in 1 week. And the sad story here, how cooking gas explosion left me partially blind. Imo technician is recalling his ordeal. Tribunal decide Ogun Sokoto governorship poll petitions today. And then another story here at the top corner, strike may delay Atiku Obi's appeal, stall tribunal sittings. Who has what story?
Yeah, so we could do the major headline, I think.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so the organized labor comprising the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade
Union Congress.
Union Congress on Friday boycotted an emergency meeting with the federal government. and at the villa, and it was scheduled for 3 p.m. According to the story, they said the federal government had called an emergency meeting with the leaders of the organized labor to hold at the conference room in one of the office of the president's chief of staff. And they had prepared for the meeting. They waited. They had to move the time from 3 p.m. to like 4 p.m. They kept waiting. They had set the table, you know, for them with light
Labour is not
refreshments.
ready to
Labour
have a
did not
conversation.
show up.
Yeah.
And Labour is saying that they are trying to find a way to stop the proposed shutdown, total shutdown strike. And they are also saying that a lot of infrastructure, critical facilities will be a part of this strike. Airports are going to be joining, seaports, electricity grids, fuel supply. They're advising Nigerians to go and make sure that they stock up food in
On
their house,
everything.
because so that the impact is not that much on Nigeria. And, you know, Femi Falana had written a letter to the Attorney General of the Federation to say that they must continue the negotiations, because if this strike happens now, it will not pay our economy. We don't have the capacity to withstand a total
The
shutdown
shock
right
that
now.
the strike will
Yes,
cause
and
on the economy.
as in, NLC is saying no, the suffering is getting too much for Nigerians. Yeah, fighting for the fuel subsidy removal. I don't know. It's supposed to be happening on Tuesday.
Wait, hang on. We need to quickly go on a break. When we return, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. All right, thank you for staying with us. We are still looking through the newspaper headlines, and we had taken the story before we went on the break on the proposed nationwide strike that organized labor is putting forward to begin on Tuesday, the 3rd of October. And they decided not to meet with the government when the government called for a last-minute meeting, I think yesterday. And we're talking about how they had told Nigerians to stock up ahead on food items, whatever it is.
Even
because
cash.
It's a total shutdown of the economy as it is.
Yeah, some persons were seen at the banks yesterday trying to withdraw
Of course,
cash.
we'll see queues,
Yes,
long queues,
there
but
were
how many
queues.
persons have money
Money
that
to
they want
withdraw.
to withdraw?
That's another thing.
And then we know that the economy thrives on the informal economy.
The day-to-day businesses,
Right.
daily bread kind of
80%
business.
of our economy thrives on that. So how are they going to run their business at a time like this? So the issues are complex and interwoven as it is. Must organized labor press home their points? Of course, constitutionally, it's their right. So how do we survive at a time like this is another question.
When everything is going to be shutting down, even flight
When
operations
everything, yes,
Yes,
are also
everywhere
going to be
shutting down.
shutting down. So we'll not have lights, we'll not have
it's
fuel, we'll not
just,
have...
We have to have light. Oh.
Hey, they are going
That is
to...
critical.
So I
Yeah,
have,
the other
yes,
story.
I have the cooking gas explosion story.
Yeah,
So
the
this
sad
man,
one.
Kevin Okpara, had an experience prior to this cooking gas experience in his house where his wife was cooking with a kerosene stove and her phone rang. Immediately her phone rang, there was an explosion. But gratefully, they were able to manage that. And so he had collected somebody else's gas cylinder, and kept it in his house. He lives in a one-bedroom, self-contained.
Oh.
And so he kept it, whereas the gas was leaking. We didn't do anything about
did
it.
you know?
And so on this particular day, his wife and baby were sleeping on the bed, and he was planning to go out. He installs solar panels. And so when he was trying to arrange his things, his phone rang,
Again,
and he said the next thing, everywhere went black.
So he didn't smell it.
You know how it is when you just
cooking gas,
manage
when it's
situations
leaking.
and not, you never, let me just, you know.
sometimes some people do not know it's leaking. They can't smell
Smell
it.
it.
They can't identify the smell.
Well, true.
Gas.
Yes.
But in the
They have
story,
something,
he said,
pretty
something
obvious,
wrong
so.
with their...
when the story said the cylinder was leaking.
leaking.
Yes,
Means
so
he
it-
knew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smelt it.
But I think people don't know the impact
So
of.
please, can I ask, I don't know if there's any science student here. What's the connection with the ringing of the phone to explosion?
No, that is why when it comes to perhaps, you know, when
Waves.
tanker falls and all of that, the waves, you know that petrol, gas, all of these are highly flammable. So when such things like your phone, I'm not a science student, I'm just,
We're just...
using the
trying to-
layman,
Okay, the frequency.
the
Yeah.
frequency and all of it, when they collide,
Yeah.
there's an explosion.
Because
So
even when-
oftentimes they tell you when you get to a filling station, switch off your
Exactly.
phone. They
But
tell you
people
when a
don't.
tanker falls, don't go there with your phone. That's why we see explosion happens in such areas where people are
Yes.
trying to scoop fuel. So because these are petroleum products that are highly flammable. So they can easily be combustible as it is when the frequency of
Combustible,
So-
you are a little bit of
Let me finish. Let me finish your
Finish your story.
So, when that happened, he found out that he was hearing his phone from a distance. He was hearing his child crying from a distance, and his wife also was injured
subconscious.
already.
Yeah, maybe the
Guess
flung
what?
him away.
His child at the time was 6 months old, and nothing happened to the child.
Thank God.
But his wife was injured, and so neighbors took them to the hospital. And he said again that when he got to the hospital, he found somebody else with a similar case. But this time, the person said the person's alarm on his phone went on. Then there was an
What is from the
explosion.
phone?
So you see that it's not only about when a phone rings. So it is the device
Yes,
itself.
the device itself
Yes.
emits some rays that are not healthy to the body, that
Yes.
can be dangerous.
This device we're holding on
Yes,
our body.
yes.
Lie down on the bed.
Yes.
Holding, you're sleeping, it's
If
over
you
your
check
head.
it and you see the rays that come out of it, that's why they call it e-waste, how it affects the body itself.
Veronica, are you sure you're not a science student? I'm beginning to suspect you.
So anyway,
Anyway, I
but
wish
gratefully,
we-
one of the good things was that he was taken to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, which is a government hospital, and he was attended to immediately.
Thank God.
You see, and that's another good side to this, because we'd also read over in the news such that people will go to the government hospitals, but there's no one to attend to.
There's no bed.
So this one he was attended to, and gratefully is currently recovering. One of his eyes totally gone.
Oh,
Second one,
It's
the
partially
government hospital was able to save it. So he's currently undergoing treatment, seeking for funds to get his medical expenses covered. Wish him a very quick recovery. His name is Kevin Okpara.
And
And
well, meaning Nigerians can look into helping him
Yes.
to address.
donating something.
Yes,
Even if
that's
it's one
The real
thousand.
donation.
But we need to educate
Always.
people on things like this.
Yeah.
Know that if you have your gas inside the house, just stick your phone far from
Outside.
it. Bottom line.
Even if the
Or
cylinder
even
is
keep your
outside.
cylinder
Inside
inside
the
the
house.
house.
Exactly.
But you know
Exactly.
how some of these
Just-
houses are? It's a
just
one-room
be safe.
apartment, like she mentioned. You know how it is.
You can walk the wipe.
Use stove.
It's the
It
stove
happened
that
two-
exploded the
2
first
weeks
time
before.
now.
Stove.
Yes.
No gas. Use firewood.
Do you have a story here?
Yes, yes. So gunmen abducted a retired army general in Imo, and Punch is reporting that the name of the retired general is Richard Duru, Major General Richard Duru, retired. And Punch is reporting that they tried to reach the director of Army Public Relations to confirm this kidnap, but he was not reachable. However, they got some scoop from 2 military sources that confirmed the incident, and they said that troops have been deployed to ensure the safe release of the retired general. And they also said that Sahara reports Sahara reporters said that they tracked the phone number of the Major General, and it was traced to Mbatoli in Imo State before it was switched off. However, these military sources are confirming or reassuring us that efforts are being made to rescue the retired general.
We do hope he is rescued as quickly as possible. Let's quickly move on now to Saturday Sun. And a major story here says, indefinite strike, Labour adamant, we are not aware of any court injunction. Organized Labour is saying that will ground air travels nationwide. Aviation workers are saying they are joining in the strike. Tinubu Sultan begged Labour to shelve strike. And another story here, highways to hell. Nigerians bemoan unimaginable nightmares on collapsed federal roads. Another story, how economic downturn bites hard on MSMEs. And the federal allocation, federal government states LGCs share 1.1 trillion for August. At the top corner here, Nigeria at 63 ethnic nationalities renew call for restructuring. Regrettably, nation still wobbling. All right, military arrests 8 suspected killers of Catholic seminarian others. Peter Obi, no economic activity can flourish with insecurity. Who has what story?
The Special Military Task Force, Operation Safe Haven, OPSH, operating in Plateau and parts of Bauchi and Kaduna states have arrested suspected killers of Naaman Stephen, a Catholic seminarian. The media officer of OPSH, Captain James Oya, was the one who disclosed this while addressing newsmen on Friday in Jos. The gunmen killed Naaman when they attacked the rectory of St. Raphael Catholic Church, Fadan Kamatan of Zango, Kataf local government area of Kaduna State. The seminarian was killed when the criminals set the rectory ablaze after a failed kidnap attempt on 2 priests working in the parish. According to Oya as well, he said among the arrested suspects were also those who killed Dorothy Jonathan at Afana community of Zango, Kataf, after they failed to have carnal knowledge of her. And the suspects involved in the attack of burning the St. Raphael's Catholic Church, Fadan Kamatan, September 7, were also a part of the people arrested. So it was the swift response of our troops, that rescued Reverend Emmanuel Okolo and Noah Monday, the parish priest and his assistant on the whole. And they have about 8 suspects in custody who have been arrested for committing the above crimes. So they also said they found that they were running a gun manufacturing factory in the area. They said they found 31 weapons of various categories. The weapons included AK-47 rifles, 10 locally fabricated pistols, 5 locally fabricated AK-47 rifles, 9 revolvers, 3 locally fabricated submachine guns, rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, and machine tools. They were able to get all of this from them.
It's amazing
it's a good
how
one
we
for
have
our military.
Yes, it's amazing how we have this knowledge, people that have these skills to do this and to even manufacture. I'm looking at locally.
Of course,
So imagine if they are channeled rightly.
Our governments come and pick them up
and use them
and
to channel it appropriately.
Yes, we know what to do.
Because, well, it's just a sad one, but it's good that we are seeing that these persons have been arrested.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, justice has to be seen to be done. That is so that people can gain closure and trust the system to bring justice for them. Who has what story again?
Yes, so I have the highway to hell. So endless trauma for long-suffering users. And so this was like a special report, a 4-paged report by the reporters. And they had picture images of different highways in Nigeria. There's the Warri Sapele Benin Road that looks so bad. There's also the Koko in Delta State and Ologbo Road in Edo State. That one has flood in between and then trailers there. And so there's also the East-West Road, Eleme, East-West Road. There's another Bayelsa Road. These pictures are just
really highways.
Yes, highways. And
did they mention Kogi?
In fact, the story even went on to give a comprehensive breakdown on the progress made on all major highways in Nigeria. And, well, it also said the good parts. So it acknowledged the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
The last administration invested in infrastructural development, especially with regards to roads, some roads, major roads, but there are still some
that have not been touched.
There's Enugu-Onitsha Expressway. Enugu Otukpo Makodi Road.
Otukpo Makodi.
So no, I'm saying that road. That's Okene, Abuja. It's a major road, Lokoja. That's
even though some work has been done, but there's still a lot more work yet to be done.